Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. It has been almost a month since I've filmed any content. So the content that you've been seeing that I've been posting was actually filmed over a month ago because I went to the jungle in Peru on a retreat, and I've just been integrating back into life. And also, after 2 weeks of not wearing any makeup, I had a hard time getting back into wearing makeup, but I'm back. And I went to Ulta yesterday and I picked up some goodies. So let's get into it. And so I just want to start with this Milani Conceal and Perfect that I got and I tried out in my last Get Ready With Me. So it was too light on me, and I'll just show you. This was the color 04. It was really too light for me, especially because I had a self-tan at the time. So yesterday I went ahead and picked up the 07. So I'm not gonna actually use this in this video, but I do want to just swatch it and let's see if it's a better match. Yeah, that's gonna be a better match. Let's get a little more on there. This is the 07 and this is the 04. So yeah, I think the 07 is gonna be better. And the reason I went ahead and picked up another one of these was because I do really like the formula. I've been using this all week and really liking it. I really like the formula. I wanted to have my correct color. But the foundation I'm actually going to try out today is the new CoverGirl Skin Tint. This has gone viral. A lot of people are talking about this, so this I will be trying today. I also wanted to provide a follow-up on this bubble mascara. I'm not going to be using this today, but I'll try to use it in an upcoming video. This Colossal Bubble. I said that I felt like it was a colossal failure for me, but I gave it a shot after it had sat for like 3 weeks when I was gone and then not wearing much makeup. And lo and behold, I really like it. Something has happened with it since it was opened and then just been sitting, because I used it a couple of times after I first got it. And now it's, I don't know, it's wearing very well. It's not as gloppy as it was originally. And so anyways, I'm really enjoying that. And let me also just say, I don't know what happened with my last video. I leaned forward at some point to look closer in the mirror that's in front of me. And when I did that, it went out of focus. And I couldn't tell that it was out of focus because I have a little mounted mirror contraption behind my iPhone. And I don't know, it went out of focus and it would never focus back in, but I couldn't tell that it was, because it was just slightly out of focus. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem again. Hopefully that's not going to happen again. And I do apologize that that happened, and had I realized it, I would have just turned my phone off and reopened my camera and fixed it. But anyways, so apologies for that. Thank you if you watched my video. And so hopefully that's not gonna happen again. But the mascara I picked up was the new one from e.l.f. And I am an e.l.f. fan when it comes to mascara, especially. They have a couple of my top 10 favorite formulas that I've tried in the past couple of years. And so I got the Incredicurl mascara. So that's the one that I'm going to be trying today. Just as an aside, right before I went on my trip, I had to stop by Sephora for something, and I was in the checkout and I saw the Tartelette tubing mascara. So I picked up the little travel mini size of that, and this is so good. This is a tubing formula, and so I used this on my trip when I was wearing makeup, and I've used it also on and off from the Colossal Bubble, just depending on my mood for the day. But this is really great. Also not going to show that in this video because it's not a new product, and many of you probably have seen it or tried it yourself and know that it's a great formula. When I was in Ulta yesterday, I was craving, I don't know why, but I wanted corals. And corals are a very challenging color to wear as makeup, I have found, on my warm leaning skin. Last year, actually over like the past year and a half, I've been mostly buying cool colored blushes, but I saw this, the color Coral Crush. It's their Cheek Kiss formula. And I think this is a rather new release. That, yeah, I could be wrong about that, but I think it is kind of a new release. So I wanted to try this for sure. So I picked that up. I also mentioned in my last video that I wanted to look for a cream bronzer. So I picked up the Milani Cheek Kiss in Hey Honey. And I'm hoping it's not too dark for me. It was the lightest color that they had in the store. I don't know if it comes in any lighter shades than that, but that's the one that I picked up. Hopefully it will look good. I also picked up another color of the L'Oreal Satin lipstick. And I have fallen in love with a kind of coral, and I think it probably has the name coral in it, lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury when I was swatching. I mean, I had swatches all over my hands, you guys, yesterday in Ulta, and I was probably in there an hour and a half. And so I thought that this looked the closest. So I'm not sure that I'm going to use this one today because I picked up 4 lip products while I was there. I picked up 2 colors of the NYX new Smushy Lips. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Smushy Matte Lip Balms. And this is the one that I'm going to be using. And I also picked up an Hourglass Volumizing Glossy Balm in the color Wish, which is a beautiful color as well. So I'll swatch that one for you. And I couldn't find any kind of coral type lip liners. And so this was kind of the closest one that I found, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on that either. So this is the NYX retractable. It's actually red, but it was an orange leaning red. So I got that. And I brought some of my other lip liners in here just in case that's not going to work with the look today, but we'll find out together. And then I picked out 2 eyeshadow sticks. One is an eyeshadow stick and one is a liquid eyeliner. I picked up the liquid eyeshadow. This is from e.l.f. This is their liquid powder chromatic eye tint, and I got the color Mythic. I had to try this out yesterday, and I really like this, and I think it'll look great with this look. And the other one that I picked up was another one of the Too Faced Quickie Queens, and I got it in the color Pure Magic. So I'm gonna swatch everything. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use this in this look today, but I'll swatch it and you can see. I was trying out like every brand of eyeshadow sticks while I was in there, looking for the perfect tone of what I had in my mind of the look I wanted to create today. So let's get started, shall we? I'm letting my hair just do the wild thing, you know? After being in the jungle for 2 weeks, I went all natural and I loved it. I showed this in my last video, but I didn't end up using it. And this is the new Grippy Serum Primer from Maybelline. I did end up using this a few times since that video, and I really like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Normally when I'm trying especially a new foundation, I don't like to use a primer necessarily because I like to see what the product is like on its own. But I decided, what the heck? I showed this to you in my last video, but I didn't demonstrate it or give you my feedback. So I'm gonna do it in this video. So it's nice, it's very thin, and it kind of feels like it adds a little bit of hydration, and it probably does because it has a 2% niacinamide formula. And anyway, so I'm really liking that. So let me go ahead and shake this up. I haven't even swatched this to see if this, whoops, there it goes, if this color is good on me. This is clean, supposedly clean and vegan, a nourishing skin tint. And what is the color? I got it in 550 light medium. And I felt like this would be the best color for me. We will find out together. Oh, I can see that might be a little messy, that too, because it just squirted right out. So let's see what this feels like. Yeah, it's a very thin formula. I think that the color is a little peachy because it is supposed to be a warm tone. I think that'll be okay on me. But yeah, that's a very thin formula. I don't know how that's gonna cover. So I'm kind of on the fence if I should, let me just shake it up a little bit more, how I should apply this. Maybe I should just try starting with my fingers, although that's my least favorite way to apply makeup or to eat food. I just have a thing about having things on my fingers. Yeah, this is really going on in a very sheer, thin layer. I find this cap a little messy because it is leaking out as I have it laying on its side. But yeah, I think this is a good formula to apply with your fingers because it's almost like lotion-like a thin lotion though. It doesn't feel like, you know, you're applying a foundation, in other words. I think that this is probably a really nice formula for summer. And I guess it's probably come out at summertime for that reason. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna put a little on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna use my BK Beauty N17 to just apply it to my forehead, just to kind of see how it plays with a brush. You know, I guess with this kind of formula, you want your skin to show through for it to look very natural. I know I have some glowy skincare products underneath this, but this is definitely not a matte formula. I can see that I would guess that it's going to remain a little glowy on its own. I don't think that this would be a very buildable formula either. I don't love how it's laying on the top of my nose. That's kind of the problematic area for me because I do have, you know, everybody has pores, but I see that kind of speckled look on top of my nose where it's not like kind of conforming with all of the skin. It's sort of going into the pores and creating that little speckled effect. Let me take my Stands Out sponge and just see. That didn't really help. I'm just gonna try to build it up a little bit more on my nose to see how it plays with being layered. Yeah, it doesn't layer on itself. I would say if you're thinking about getting something like this, just know that you're gonna see your skin through it, which is not a bad thing. I think from a distance, it looks pretty nice, but up close, I'm not loving the way it looks. And it's not really covering any discoloration that I have. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I'll definitely keep wearing it. Let me see if I can get up close and you can see what I'm saying. Hopefully my camera won't go out of focus. If it does, I'm gonna be pretty upset. Like I said, I can't tell from the little mirror behind there if I went out of focus or if I'm in focus. I feel like I just have to trust. And I even have one of these little guys, which you've probably seen on TikTok and on Instagram, but it lags. As you can see, it's lagging so far behind. And even, you know, you can't even tell on this screen if I'm in focus. And the only way to prevent it from lagging is to plug it into my phone, but I've already got a microphone plugged into my phone to help pick up my voice a little better. I'm explaining all this to you guys just so you know. I have really tried to do my best to stay centered in frame and to stay in focus. Let's move on. Because this is such light coverage, I want to keep my concealer really light as well. So I'm using the Revlon Glimmer concealer just to try to add a little bit of brightness, but I'm really gonna do a thin layer. I don't see too many people talking about this concealer, but I actually really like this concealer. I mean, that is so brightening. And for me, it has not been prone to creasing, especially if I set it properly afterwards. I think that maybe using it in tandem with your favorite concealer if you need just a little brightening. I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild loose setting powder. This is such a good set. I was so shocked when I used this in my last video. I was like, I cannot believe how good this is. So I've been using this all week, ever since I came back from my trip. And I wasn't even wearing foundation for the first few days when I came back. I was just using this all over my eyes. I got word salad, y'all. I got word salad. I was using this on my face, all over my face, and not even using foundation. Just giving myself a little bit of a blurring effect. I do need a little, I scratched myself on the side of my nose. So, see, I almost said eyes, on the side of my eyes. I did bring in my e.l.f. camo concealer just because I wasn't sure how much coverage that skin tint was gonna give. So I brought this in here because I was like, if this doesn't cover this scratch that I have on the side of my nose, let me just bring in something that's gonna scratch it. Scratch it. What is wrong with me today? I'm saying all the wrong words. Cover it. Jeez. That does not look good. That was a mistake. I have to wipe this off. It didn't play well with the powder, so I should have done that before the powder. You know what? I'm gonna use this Milani. I feel like this look is already going a little bit south. At least I know I like this formula. So let me just use this around my nose, which I probably should have done before I did anything else. Okay, that helped a little bit. And I didn't bring any other powders in here, so I'm just gonna have to live with these decisions that I've made. So I'm going back in with that loose setting powder. Okay, I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera using my Benefit Precisely My Brow. Now I want to, what do I want to do? I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my blush. I'm so curious about this blush color, and I really hope it's not awful. That's what it looks like. Let's swatch it and see what it looks like. It's a very sheer formula, which I'm liking already. It is sheer to powder. You know what this reminds me of? The Makeup by Mario. I think it's called Soft Pop that I just bought a few weeks ago and that I've been wearing constantly. That is what that formula reminds me of. I don't think that it's quite as glowy of a finish, but it may prove to surprise me once I put it on. I'm going to apply it with a brush. Oh, and I can see I can build it up. It's buildable on the back of my hand. Oh, that color is really pretty. That is very pretty. I think it got a little darker than I wanted it to. Got a little darker. I was hoping it was a little more sheer. That's my user error. I think I could have done a little better job of shearing it out. I'm just gonna take a sponge and kind of try to soften the edges. I do see that it is kind of breaking up, and I'm thinking that maybe because it's catching some of the powder that I put down, and I probably should have waited. It's sort of patchy right in here, so it could be interacting with the powder, it could be interacting with the skin tint. Not really sure what is happening, because on the back of my hand it's not doing that. Yeah, and it's like the product is lifting up right in this area, and it's kind of speckled and breaking up like right here. Again, that could be a user error as far as other products that I put on underneath it. So I'm going to continue obviously to test this out and let you guys know in my pinned comments. By the way, always check out my pinned comment, because I give my most up-to-date feelings on the products that I'm trying. And now I'm afraid to go in with with this bronzer, although I've heard great things about this bronzer. But like I said, it could be, I probably shouldn't have put any powder down. I should have waited before going in with powder. Well, let me test what the color is like. That's the color. Yeah, and this is not feeling quite as emollient as the blush was. It feels slightly different. I might be doing these things out of order. I think I am. I probably should have done the bronzer first. Hey, we're learning together. I'm gonna take it across the nose. Yeah, my little doohickey here never caught up because I can see in the mirror I'm at 38 minutes and on here I'm only at 21 minutes. So this new MOVA, and I got it on Amazon, don't recommend. I would have sent it back, but I missed the 30-day window. All right, I'm not blown away by these two Milani products, but again, I need to use them more, and this is just my first impression, and I'm not loving it, and I think some of it is user error for sure, but I will continue to use these this week and knock things off my desk. This I already know that I like. This is the e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow because I used it last night. I just couldn't help myself. It's just such a pretty color. The color is called Mythic, and as you can see on the back of my hand, it's just like a dusty kind of coral color. And look, it's already dried down. So it sets down and it stays in place. So I might just do a one and done eyeshadow look with this, or I might add that Too Faced to my crease. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm just gonna take a little bit on a brush just to blend it up. That looks so nice. It's not breaking up. It's just setting down. You have a little time to work with it. And you can kind of shear it with a brush like this, so it's not like a harsh line. Yeah, that's a very nice formula. So let's take a look at the Too Faced. These are very sparkly. That's the one thing about their eyeshadow sticks. Pure magic. So this is like a copper color. That is really pretty. Look at what a pretty color that is. I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted. I think I'm gonna use it. I'm just gonna use a little bit though. That is working very well. This is a good formula. Like I said, it does have like sparkly sort of glitter particles in it. So if you don't like that kind of thing, then you might not like this. But for me, I like it. I might have blended a little bit too much because I'm having an issue that I didn't have when I used this e.l.f. formula yesterday. And maybe the brush is kind of swiping it away a little bit. So I'm just gonna lay a little bit down, but it looks a little bit broken up right here on the lid. But it didn't do that yesterday, and I don't think I used a brush yesterday. I think I just used my finger yesterday. We are learning together. That's the thing about makeup. It's like a lot of makeup, you just have to learn what it wants to do and what the proper technique of layering it, of if you need to prime, if you need to powder first or not powder first. Okay, that's really good. I'm gonna go ahead and tight line. So we're gonna speed through this, but I like tight lining with a black waterproof eyeliner, and I've been using the Sephora collection. Oh, I've got a lot of sparklies on my face. And the reason I've been doing this is just to make my lash line look thicker. I am going to line my eyes though with the Stila Stay All Day, and this is the color Lionfish Bronze. That is not playing well with the liquid eyeshadow. I am having little flakies come off. I have a lot of sparkles on my face, and I'm pretty sure that's coming from the Too Faced. Yeah, and this is just really bothering me. Ugh. I'm afraid to try to layer any more on top of it. It is dried down, but I'm afraid to try to do anything else. I think I'm just gonna leave it and, like I said, play with it on another day. But let's go ahead and use the e.l.f. Incredicurl Mascara. Get big, bold volume and extreme curl with the buildable formula. It grips lashes for long-lasting looks. The curved brushes, dense bristles, catch each lash to volumize, lift, and set curl for major drama. Smudge, flake, and clump resistant. Okay, it is recommending to wipe the excess product off the wand before your first use. I feel like they should be able to make the stopper do that for you, but I am willing to follow that direction. So right away, I'm seeing little clumps, but I'm able to wipe them away. This is a thicker, drier formula. Sometimes formulas will come out really wet upon first application, and this one isn't doing that, but it is a thicker formula versus their Lash and Roll, which is probably my favorite formula that they make that I've tried. And I think I've tried all their formulas. We're wiping. We're trying to get all the excess off of there. I do like the way my lashes look. They do look very volumized, long, and curled. I do have some transfer of the mascara down here, but hopefully that will just be able to flake away. I'm gonna go in with a second coat and see how it handles it. Normally I don't do a second coat. I'm kind of a one and done kind of mascara girl, but just for demonstration purposes. And what the heck, let's try it on the lower lash line. That's probably a mistake. Yeah, I don't like it on the lower lash line. So I have one of these always on hand, and we're gonna have to do a little cleanup because it did transfer some little smudges down here. While I wait for that to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this new lip liner. Might be too red for this look. It was the most kind of corally color I could find at Ulta. And trust me, I looked. I even was on the app in the store looking for coral lip liners, and the only one I could find was MAC called Coral Flamingo, but they didn't have it in stock. This color is called Ruby, and this is again the NYX. But I thought it is red, but to me it kind of, maybe more in the store. But when I swatched it next to other reds, it was a lighter shade of red and it had a little more yellow to it. And I'm just gonna smudge it. I don't know if I have this formula. I don't love it as much as some of their other formulas. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these two so you can see the colors. I got the color Swipe Sesh and I got the color Soft Sorbet. Okay. So these dry down matte, but they're not supposed to be like drying on your lips. This is Swipe Sesh, which is just a very pretty kind of light sheer pink berry kind of color. Kind of a nude pink. It's very neutral. I think that will look good on a lot of people. Soft Sorbet is just that really pretty sheer red, which I think will go good with my lip color, with my lip liner. I also want to show you the Hourglass. It's called Phantom Volumizing Glossy Balm. So I suppose it does have a little bit of lip plumping action. I just fell in love with that immediately. And this is the color Wish. Isn't that a beautiful color? It's so cushy feeling, and you can build it up, and it's just a very pretty, like a brownish red kind of color. So I might just go ahead and layer these two because this will dry down a little bit. That's still not dry on the back of my hand, but it does dry down because I did put it on yesterday. And this has a fruity kind of berry scent to it, but it doesn't taste weird, which is nice. So as you can see, it's very matte on my lips, but it's comfortable. It doesn't feel like it would be drying. and I do tend to have very dry lips, so I really steer away from matte products, even though it seems like everything that's coming out right now is matte. I'm going to also show you this L'Oreal lipstick that I got in Tropical Coral. And that's just a nice satin creamy formula. So I would definitely be wearing this with other looks this week. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and layer the Hourglass on top of it because I prefer a glossy look versus a matte look. Oh, listen y'all, I love this. This is gorgeous. I can feel a little bit of the minty kind of tingle, but it's not extreme. And I did wear this yesterday and it didn't like get too plumping feeling. You know that feeling of plumping products. It's just got a little bit of the tingly, the intensity. Well, as I finish up here, I'll let you know at the end how intense this got. Okay, here is the finished look using almost all new viral drugstore products plus a couple of more high-end products. I'm not thrilled. Okay, let's just start with this skin tint. This isn't like necessarily a natural makeup look, okay? Let's just call it a spade a spade. I got some bright lips, I got some bright eyes going on. So maybe not quite the best look, but if I was going for a very, very natural, just a couple of products, maybe just this and a little bit of blush and some mascara and a little lip gloss and out the door. I think that this is perfect, like for someone who wants to do very minimal makeup, but I'm gonna have to keep using this. And honestly, it's not really something that I would necessarily even wanna wear for a full makeup look if I'm going to work. Maybe on days when I'm working from home, this will be okay. I'll continue to use it and give you further thoughts about it. The Milani, these products, I really have to play with these a little more. I've heard a lot of people talk about these and they really like them. To me, it broke up and got patchy right here for the blush. And again, it could be the products that I had put on underneath. So I will continue to play with this. And yeah, I'm not used to using a cream bronzer. So yeah, I gotta play with this a little bit more too and sort of get to know this product. But it's not bad. When I compare it to like the putty bronzer that e.l.f., I don't know if they even still make it. I think it's better than that because that product, like I put it on and I couldn't even see where I put it. So I'll continue to play with that. So far, really loving this formula from e.l.f. for the liquid eyeshadow. And you know, I probably could have done without this Too Faced eyeshadow stick. And the fact that it is so sparkly is like not something I would necessarily want to wear to work. It's more of a date night type product in my estimation, but I really do like the way that it goes on. I like that it doesn't break up, that it's very blendable. You have like a minute to sort of blend it out if you want to sheer it a little bit. So in that sense, I like it. I wish they would come out with formulas without the sparkles in them, because I think all of the formulas that they've come out with, because I have Fairy Dust and it's very sparkly too, and I swatched a bunch of them yesterday and all of them had that sparkle in them. I wish that they would come out with a formula without all the sparkle. This mascara, it remains to be seen because this is literally a first impression. I have not tried this before. I'm gonna have to see if it smudges or flakes and leave those comments below. And also I will use this throughout the week. So this video probably goes up about a week after I film. And so I'm gonna have to let you know about that. But so far, I do love the volume and I think it makes my lashes look very long. They're not too heavy. I'm really glad that I wiped off the brush a lot before I went in with it. We're gonna have to just wait and see on that. I do think that NYX makes really good lip liners. I hate spending a lot of money for lip liners because between NYX and Essence and you know, some other of the drugstore price points, they work pretty good, you know? And so I don't really like to spend a lot on lip liners, but I love this color, and this was very different from any of the other colors that I saw in the store. And these smushy lip products from NYX, really like them. I really love this formula. I think it's very comfortable, and it is matte, which the matte look is coming back. I'm not a huge fan of the matte lip look, you know, sometimes, but I prefer a little glossy look. But I do like these. I think that they are a really good product. I love this. I love this product from Hourglass. Yeah, I can still feel, it's probably been about 3 or 4 minutes since I applied it. I can still feel a little bit of fresh, kind of minty feeling on my lips, but it's not uncomfortable at all. It feels like I just popped a wintergreen or something. But look at that color. Now that color is going to be different on its own. The reason why it looks more red is because I had the reddish products underneath it. And actually this isn't a true red. This is a coral red, which I think looks really good with this color on my blouse. I didn't plan that, right? Well, that does it for me. I thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate your guys' time. Don't forget to give this a like and subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload videos. And let me know if you've tried any of these products and what your thoughts are on them too, because I really like to know how these products are working for other people. And also, if you think that I should check out any products that you love, leave those in the comments below, because I do look into and try out products that you guys recommend. Well, thanks so much for being here. You know, I really love you guys, and I want to recognize all of you for doing a phenomenal job in your life. It's not easy being here day in, day out, and going to work and doing all the things. And I know you're doing that, and I know you're doing your best. If no one's told you this recently, I'm just gonna give you credit. You are doing great.